Okay, this thing recording, I guess so. Alright, this is only my second YouTube video. What I'm going to try to show you here today is quick and short. I hate long videos. I've done several glaze coats. I love this stuff. And what I ended up here, my son made his kitchen countertop with this butcher block looking wood, which is actually, it's Heva, H-E-V-E-A. It's a new thing they're carrying at Home Depot. And I'll let you look at it a little closer. It looks like most of the other butcher block stuff, but it's actually the rubber tree. You think, okay, rubber is soft, but I guess it's considered in the hardwood family. If you're wondering, this is a gray paint. It's actually the hammer look, which didn't hammer look very much, but his kitchen is and stuff is gray, two-tone gray. So he can either use it as a hot plate or a serving thing or whatever. As you can see, I've already got the duct tape on this one. Now it's kind of hot. You see gray to gray. This is gray paint. This is gray duct tape. Okay, I'm not an expert at this, but this is probably my 5th or 6th project already, and I'm getting to be an expert, or trying to. One of the tricks I found out is to go ahead, and this, whether you, if I was doing this or this, it doesn't matter. You put a border around it. This stuff stays active for hours, really. Even though they say work it right away. The problem is you end up with more on the floor than you do on the item itself. This stuff is not cheap. By the way, I'm not sure where I got these, but I've been buying them from 2 different places because I'm not looking for a real big discount. It's not like I do hundreds of these a year. I either got it on Amazon or I got it at Home Depot. Believe it or not, Home Depot does carry it. Be sure to look it up online, because every time you go there, they go, nope, we don't have it. And you look it up online, it says idle 6, section 2, and there it is. It's on the floor next to the other stuff. So price is comparable, you know. Again, if you do this for a living, you look for a discount. If you're only doing one project, what's the difference in a little bit of bucks? So anyhow, what I'm trying to get at here is I'm going to go ahead and pour this, and I'm going to leave this tape on for about a half hour. And trust me, it's still going to flow down. But that way it's now getting a little harder, and it's not all on the floor. Because if you put it right on now, I guarantee it's all on the floor. So by keeping it up here, letting it thicken a little bit, you're going to get a thicker top. And when it comes time to do the others, foam, not a sponge, foam brush. The reason is if you use bristles, you're going to end up picking bristles from that brush all day long out of there. At least with this, you don't leave any stuff behind. So what's going to happen here, I'll cut this off and restart it. Got to mix this stuff 50-50, and I always mix it in. I have, you can tell I didn't prepare for this, but I bought a bunch of these paint that you can buy like 100 for a few bucks. And the quantity doesn't matter. I mean, as far as what all these numbers mean, it's just 50-50. So you set 2 of them up, you pour the hardener in there, and you pour the other stuff, and there's 2 different things that you're going to mix. Once you get them 50-50, and then put them together. How much? We're going to find out here. I'll show that in a minute. I just go by eyeball. This isn't going to take very much, believe it or not. But the trick is to do that. The other thing is so much prepared I am here. One of these heat guns works much better, okay? And the reason for that is to get rid of the bubbles, that is, and stuff. But when you get what I call fish eyes, if you know about painting, you get fish eye, you get a little crater, okay? That's not a bubble, that's a little crater. Sometimes it's hard to move. If you use the torch, what you're going to end up doing, or even if you use the heat, what you're going to end up doing is you're going to cure that spot quicker than the rest of it. And it's actually going to make it harder to get rid of that little dimple. So what I do is I just turn it on air, and I blow the wave. You can move like waves, okay? So as long as you'll see when you get rid of a fish eye, you move the wave over it and come back, and then the fish eye is gone. But you didn't cure that one spot, so it's not a problem. The bubbles coming up, that's from gases being released from the material, or the wood. Again, this has got mineral oil on it. I would never put it over mineral oil, even though it would work. The only reason is you gotta remember, this is a hard plastic cover. Okay, so what it would do, it would actually go over this, wrap around. Of course, it's not gonna go all the way underneath, but it'd pretty much stay there. At the worst case scenario, this whole thing would come off like a neat, like this. I use it as a template. So I'd have this plastic tray. but of course I don't want to do that. But here, I did this ahead of time with spar water thinnable pure polyurethane. And then I sanded it a little bit. The only reason I sanded it is I wanted to get this this gray edge smoother. So I did. That was the only purpose for it. But as far as putting some kind of clear down or whatever color you want it to be, you're sealing these cracks, so it's gonna actually reduce. Even though I sanded this a lot, there's still some polyurethane down in the cracks, so this should bubble a lot less than if I used it on pure wood. Okay, so it doesn't hurt to seal it. Again, hopefully I'll do more of this video, but just in case, I'm trying to get through this quick here for you. Once it's done, if it's not right, sand the shit out of it. Leave it foggy. It doesn't matter. Put the tape on there again, pour it on, and that foggy, everybody thinks that fogginess, you got to polish it and this and that. No, you can leave it, I mean, 80 grit you can put on there. Once you put the clear back on it again, it goes back to pure clear again. So when you sand, if you have to sand between coats, you're just sanding to get it smooth. Don't worry about making it pretty. As soon as you pour that clear on there, poof, it goes back to crystal clear again. So, okay, I'm going to go ahead and mix this up. When you mix this up, it says to mix it for 6 minutes. Mix it for 6 minutes. Take your time and get it all mixed out. And then go ahead and pour it on. I'm going to put the tape on here, pour it on there. Of course, it's always going to drip. It helps to have where the edges are hanging out so it can drip down successfully. And again, get your foam brushes and go around and do that. And okay, I'm going to stop this. I hope it's still recording and continue on as I get to the time to the pouring. Sharpie snow. Barely touched my finger there. All right, so I got to look at that. And this is just eyeballing. I mean, luckily we've got a real small surface here. So I think that ought to do it. Let's see how much that might be. Where's the ounce things? All right, that's 6 ounces. And we're going to go 6 ounces here. And again, you can do it multiple times. So don't worry about trying to get it done the first time. Doesn't work the first time. As a matter of fact, I'll probably change my tune on this one here because I've done every one of them I've done twice. And the reason is the first coat always had bumbles in that I was sand and do it again. So maybe you are better off doing 2 coats and put the first coat as a light coat. Now we got a swizzle stick. Okay, so we're gonna mix them. Is this thing working? Okay. My phone froze up earlier when I was in the first part of this. This shit's expensive, so be sure you get it all out. And oh, there's the phone. It went. So I got to figure out how to get around that again. I'm new at this. This is my first GoPro one. Normally I just use my phone. I did one on the Atlas lathe. I rebuilt a 6-inch Craftsman Atlas 618 lathe, and was putting new belts on, which was a real fun thing to do. Because I like to do everything myself. It ain't broke until Dad says it's broke, so I try to fix everything. And again, now that I'm retired, I have plenty of time. It takes me all day. It's like nothing better to do than watch Price is Right or something like that, you know, which I do watch all that. Today the inauguration is on, so I'm bored. I hate politics. So mixing this up. Don't worry about making bubbles. It's making bubbles. That's the initial quick one. I wanted to get it faster, and then after a while you can slow it on down. But I'm only running because I don't want to bore you guys. But look at here, we got a clock. Hopefully you can see that. I'm trying to look there. Okay, we'll bring it a little closer. Damn, I wish the camera was up. Okay, so while I'm doing this, I'm stirring it some more. Yeah, damn it. Let me look back here. Now, to see the display on the back of the GoPro goes off too. So this is going to be a double learning. It's going to be learning for you how to do this. It's learning for me how to work this damn GoPro. So it's still stirring here. I did it about a minute ago, so we'll continue on here. Okay, I guess we're back on. Let's see here. Oh, yep. Okay, I did mixed it for a while. one of the things I forgot to tell you was make sure you have your items as level as possible. At least keep the bubble in between the lines, if not better. So get it as close as you can, because this is self-leveling fluid. Okay, I've mixed this, and again, here's another good reason for having measurable containers. So I have, should be 12 ounces. So I'm going to go ahead and pour 6 on each, which is probably overkill. Geez, that was 4. Okay. So we got 12. Let's do a little more there. And then 2 over here. So it was pretty much 6 ounces on each one, which is, again, it depends on how thick you want it. Don't panic. Right now it looks pretty bubbly, pretty soupy. Then bubbles, you panic because you think you got to get the bubbles out right away. You don't have to get the bubbles out right away. The bubbles will take care of themselves, but everybody does it, and I do it too. You get in there with the blower and you knock out all the bubbles, and it's fun because it's just so little heat, and those bubbles just start popping. So, okay, now you notice I got the wall or the dam around it. Now we just put that on at 37, 38, 37. And as you can see, it's not quite level, but close enough. It'll flow over. You can help it over with the brush, but I'm not ready to do that yet because I want to let it continue. It will work its way over there and settle. This is again where I can use the air blower too, and I'll show you that. So you can see how you can blow it around too. Now I'm not going to put any heat on, just going to put air. That's just air. And you can see, so you can walk the dam around. To help it get over to the edges. Again, you can use the brush, but then the brush gets all gooey. But we've got a long time to work with this. And I'm trying to see what you can see. You can see the bubbles there. I'll turn the heat on just to show you how quick this is. Now it's just getting pretty hot. That's how quickly the bubbles go away. I don't know if you can see it in the sheen or not there. So I'll just hit that real quick. Look at that, just walks away. And now it's almost all clear. So now you're happy, you're a little, you're not as nervous because it all went to clear. And now we just wait. So that's 39:40. So we'll probably wait till about 11:50 on that clock. And then what I'll do is I'll pull the tape off and let it start dripping down. I don't know if you can see it or not, but on each one of the tape jobs, I folded it back and I gave me a tear spot. Because your hands are all going to be goopy and all the rest of that, so you now have a nice place. You know how hard it is to get the edge of a tape started. So always put a pull tab on your stuff. So let's let that go until 11:50, and then we'll pull the tape off, and then we'll start using the brush to basically, if you've ever seen water, if you move water, you can make it follow that pattern. That's all we're going to do. We're just going to kind of wet the sides, and then it'll flow over smoothly because I want to make sure it gets down, because this is recessed in there, so I just want to make sure it gets down in there. All right, we'll stop this and come back in at 11:50. I decided to have lunch. This stuff lasts quite a while. While my camera is still working, my remote view I should say, I did this a while back. This is fun. I love this motion thingy. So this is a table, or a top that I did for my workbench stool here, and that's got the Lazy Susan on it. And this is what Lowe's used to carry. It's ash. I want to say it's ash. Or this is that Epoxy, whatever. And it just went blank on me, but I can see in the camera. I got to figure this out. But can't do it right now because we're too busy with stuff drying, so we got to continue on. So now I'm going to try to pull this tape off without making too big of a mess. And that's where having this pull stick is nice. You can see it's already dripping down on the side. Okay, and I'll get a close-up, but there's the drip. Now imagine if you put that on right away, most of your stuff would be on the cardboard already. Yeah, let's try to do this one too. And look at how fast that's dripping. So, I didn't see any of the other videos that showed this trick. That's what I wanted to show you. Again, I'm not a professional. I don't care if you subscribe. I'm just like lessons learned. I like to show people my mistakes and how to correct them, or not mistakes, necessary improvements. So off with the gloves. And the gloves I put on only because I had some. Otherwise, I normally do this without it. But hopefully you can see. My thing's still working. Yep, there it is. Can you see that or not? Hopefully. We'll find out. But now's the time. Again, I got some on my... This stuff, as far as I know, doesn't hurt you. I don't swear to that. I mean, I've been doing it barehanded for years. But this is where the leveling comes in. You just sort of help it along as far as getting in the grooves and wetting it down. Like I said, this is working out great because it's rolling. And again, don't hurry. This stuff's going to be here for quite a while. See, I'm pushing it off the edge. I'm going to hold my finger here and put it back on this board. Okay. Let's go ahead and get this one done. Get it a little leveled out. Clock out of the way there. You get these, of course, Lowe's, Harbor Freight, any of the stores will have them too. There's a little spot right there. I'm going to just move it and come right back. Again, I have not blown the heat on here again since I showed you earlier. There's micro bubbles in there, which I'll take care of in a minute, but they all go out by themselves. It's just everybody gets that. Oh no, they're not going to go away, and I got to fix them. So, and it doesn't hurt. You're just helping it up. You'll have a lot more if you don't put a pre-finish down. What I mean is like the clear polyurethane that I put down. And again, speaking of, didn't have to be done for this, but just like to teach things. I like using a water-based polyurethane versus an oil. And also, I end up just buying spar. The word spar, as far as I know, comes from the ship with the spar. And basically, if you're doing anything outside or something that you want to really last, instead of having 6 different versions in the house, I always buy spar urethane. And that way I know it's going to be used indoor, outdoor, it's going to last, it's going to be somewhat waterproof. And again, that may be all bull crap, but as far as I know, that's where the spar comes in. It's good for wet climates and stuff. Here I'm in the desert. I'm in Las Vegas in the desert here, so but I do have the UV problem, And polyurethane doesn't normally work well in a UV environment where again, I read on the labels and did some research. The spar does survive better than straight polyurethane. Straight polyurethane will turn yellow in a heartbeat out here in the sun. The latex or a water-based, as funny as it sounds, holds up better underwater as a waterproofing. Okay, so you saw it pretty well dripped down. I got some bubbles, and it's still continuing around, and it'll continue around for hours. So now I'll just hit it with the hot air a little bit, take some of the bubbles out, which there are hardly any in there, and they'll take care of themselves in a little bit. So we're back to hot again. And you can see it move fast. You don't have to get close. You know, maybe the glare is not good enough where you're not going to see this. But that's all it takes. It doesn't take much. And I'll come back in again in a little while and redo it. But you'll sit here, and I'm going to turn the camera off because I hate long, boring videos and watching things drip. But you can see the clock there, so I put the clock there to help you out with how it goes up. But you can see that dripping is still pretty active. And when this all dries, but I'll get cut to the chase. All you do is turn it over. You either cut it with a knife, or what I'm going to do is I'll turn it over tomorrow and just resand the bottom, and that'll take off that crust around the outside that's going to form down here. Another thing, just so you know, with this butcher block stuff, okay, it will warp. When it comes from the factory, you'll get, it comes in a clear plastic cover. You need to seal it right away because it will work. I made one project, my kitchen table, it's got a nice bow in it now. So you got to seal, no matter what you're going to do, like the bottom, which nobody sees, put a clear coat of something on there, or paint it whatever you want, but just throw a clear coat on the bottom, that's going to seal that, and then figure out how you're going to seal the top. Again, this one I did with the polyurethane, now I'm doing it with the what's it technically called? Clear coat, glaze coat, glaze coat. I don't know if there is glaze coat, and there's different branding, but it's Famowood. I know they carry that at Home Depot. It says 3.5 ounces per square foot. That's something I come up with. And do my math here, 1.75 of each part. All right, well, let's let that drip for a while. I'm looking at the top here. I see one little, what might be a hair. So what I did here, I'm working the puddle, I'm working the waves. There's another one there. It's not a bubble. It's I call it a hair, but it's not a hair. But I know it's not a bubble. So all you got to do is run a wave over it. Throw a little heat on here. And again, getting this thing level before you start. It's self-leveling, and if you don't have it level, you know what you're going to get. Okay, that's 10, 11 minutes after. There's really not much more I really need to do. I'll probably check it in another 5-10 minutes, but it pretty much does itself. It takes care of itself. It sits there, just drips away, and you just got to look around to make sure that it wicked inside of all those grooves that I put in there on purpose. But that's a lot less down here than I normally get, and there is a lot down there. As you can see, there's look at that. I can almost do what's all down here. I could probably do another one of these. So you can imagine if I had let it drip right from the get-go when it was real fluid. So okay, 11 after, 12 after, coming up on 12. We'll come back here in a little bit and see how it's going. Okay, we're back on. It's 12:20, as you can see. I haven't done anything to it. I just sat back. So what I'm going to do now is take this off the stand, and I'm going to do a closer walk around. I want to show you how active. Okay, I can't remember when we started this, but you have to back up the video. But here's the time now, as you can see, and you can back up the thing and see. But what I want to show you is, because you got to do look at different angles to see the sheen. Everything seems to have gone away. I see a little hair in there. I don't know if you can see it, and I'll get that in a minute. And that's just hitting it with the, again, it's probably not a hair, just looks like a hair. But what I want to show you is the dripping, which is almost stopped. But oh, over there you can see it. It's still dripping down. There's a good drip over there. It's still active. It's still soft. You've got plenty of time to work it. See, move it around here. The screen goes out. I don't know why this damn screen goes out on this, so I can't see what I'm actually looking at. But here comes the drop, and see, and so you can see the texture of. Oh, there's some more there, and some more looks around, and well, I got to figure this GoPro thing out. I was happier with my camera. So now I got to figure out how to take all these videos, put them together so it's not too stupid, but I'm going to try to, I want to keep it as short as possible. Okay, back to the clock. It's 12:34. I just wanted to show you. It's still dripping. So just so you worry about when you worry. First time doing this, you're going to worry about, oh no, it's gonna harden on me. There's another drip right there. Oh, there you go. Okay, that's, again, you can see when I poured it on. Can't remember, but it's in the video. And oh, there goes my tripod. And I'll just give you another look at the sheen, because that's what you got to do. You got to go keep going back and forth and seeing if you can see stuff, and looking down at different angles and up and down. And for what it's a pot holder or a hot plate holder or whatever you want to call it, trivet, it really doesn't matter. It's going to get scratched up and whatnot. Okay, we're back on again. There's the clock. I want to show you. I think we got one more drip coming. I know I saw some drips over there, but I mean we're almost to the end. But I'm just trying to show you the timing here. How exciting it is. And here it comes. There's a drip. So you can still see it's still soft. And we're right at the end of its life, well, of its liquid life, but just so you have an idea yourself on timing. There's another one over there. Now there's the sheen again. It looks pretty good. I haven't done anything but watch the drip. Go around it one more time and give you another clock. And again, this is probably the last until tomorrow. What I will do is, I can do it right now even, is I'll go around and smooth that out. So when I sand it tomorrow, it's not such big bumps on the sander. I just use an orbital sander and sand it up. Oh, there's another drip. And this way I'm still doing it now while it's kind of wet, and it'll drip some more and even out whatever I just touched. Okay, this is it's almost 8 o'clock or 2000 hours for us military guys. As you can see, it looks pretty nice. There's a couple little specks in there. I'm not worried about it. And I probably could have worked it a little more, but I went out and got back later. But I just wanted to show you here. I'm going to touch it. It's not sticking, but it feels sticky. So just to give you an idea, and again, this is something that's missing off a lot of the other videos, is timing and how long things take. I guess it'd be better off if I come down here and hit the stuff on the, there it is. Oh, by the way, I now I can see the video here because I turned off the screensaver. So I have to never ever go to sleep, at least for while I'm doing this stuff. So yes, then now I can figure out how to point. Okay, now I'm gonna scratch at my fingernail. Yeah, it is making marks, but and I can, if I push down, there's my fingerprint. Don't take my fingerprint. So that's the status of the texture and the curing of where it's at 8 o'clock at night. And again, you can go back and look at the video when I started this to give you an idea. So tomorrow I'll come out here and see how it is. I'll probably turn this upside down on a rag and start sanding. Okay, that's it for this project. I'll bring you back out here in the morning and see how the final thing is.
Process has been about 5 months.
Okay, this is, I think, day 3 now. There's the clock. There's the items. They all look pretty good. I got a couple of hairs on there, but I'm not worried about them. So what I want to show you is the bottoms. You can see how rough that is, and I'm going to go ahead and sand it off with the orbital sander. Flip this one over. But what I wanted to show you here is these are the marks I made with my fingernail. So my fingernails are pretty strong. So now I'm going to do it again, and I'm trying to rub it out. These are deep. Okay, I can feel, you can hear it clicking back and forth. This one here, not. Just, yeah, I know, I expected it to be a little hard, but I'm really digging in my fingernail. But there is no, a little bit. But you can see over there's my fingerprint still. And those are the ones I dug earlier. So it's been 3 days, and she's still hardening. But again, what I'm going to end up doing here is I'm going to go ahead and fill these holes with just a piece of wood and then sand it down. Because after reading that directions, it says it's 120 degrees. That's, I live in a desert here. I've seen it get up to 117. So I think a hot pot on here is not going to be the ideal thing. You can see the scratch marks already. But again, it hardens over days. It says 72 is before you use it. So let it go more than that. So let me put these on a rag. Let me fill the hole. Let me sand it down. Then I would have said I'm going to finish this again with some clear polyurethane, spar urethane, and that way he can try it on here. And if it doesn't work, he just uses it upside down and make this the trivet. This one here, I'm still going to put the Lazy Susan on it. So he can have a Lazy Susan of some sort, okay? And all right, let me go do the sanding. Okay, we're rolling again. This is the one that I clean the edge off of it so it doesn't show the two-tone. This isn't too bad. This is a second coat on the one that I'm going to go ahead and make a trivet out of. As you can see, as it's starting to seep in, it's starting to blend. I mean, nobody's going to really care what it looks like. But this is the second coat of the semi-gloss, and this is the first coat, but whatever. Okay, all done. This clock doesn't really matter anymore, but we've been using it the whole time. So there's the Lazy Susan put on. Here is 2 coats of this one here. This is the Spar water-based UV protection exterior semi-gloss. Okay, whatever. And that's the other side, which he's not going to probably be using. And this is the other one with the Lazy Susan, and this is the non. So he'll probably use this as a Lazy Susan, and this one he'll probably use as a hot plate, trivet, whatever, because this will withstand the heat. All right, that's it for this project. Maybe I'll do it again later. Bye.